to get more good stuff into their families' diets, right? One of the favorites that we hear about a lot is whole grains. Registered dietitian Amy Reed is here with some good examples and maybe some bad examples. Good to see you, Amy.
Hi, great to be here.
First of all, what is a whole grain? What constitutes a whole grain? Why is it good for us?
Well, a whole grain is when they go to make like a bread product, like a cracker or a muffin or something, and when they do, they use the entire grain to do it.
Okay.
And so the entire grain includes the bran, the germ, and the endosperms.
Why is that better?
Because it's the maximum amount of fiber. Mm-hmm. So whole grain products are going to have more fiber, more nutrients, because you're not just taking off what you want. Okay. And it's going to be more filling.
All right.
So a lot of times whole grain products are more filling. There's a lot of research to show that it's helpful in prevention of cancer. A lot of good research to show that it's helpful with diabetes.
Okay. So you want your kids to have whole grains as opposed to like some of those refined,
yes,
like white flour, yes, and things like that. So yes, you brought a whole, yes, line of products in here.
I brought a lot of different things.
Tell me what's good, what's bad in these examples that you brought here.
So on this side is the whole grain product. So this is just a whole grain white flour. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times that's what you see, whole grain white breads. That's what it's going to be made out of.
Is that okay?
Yes, it's just a softer wheat. They've used the whole grain to make it.
All right.
It's just a different type of wheat.
Now you have popcorn there. I'm surprised by that.
Popcorn is a whole grain.
A whole grain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So like if kids like pretzels, they might like popcorn instead. So that would be a great way to get whole grains in.
All right.
Triscuits is a very common cracker. A lot of times people think, oh, I have to search all through the aisles to find a whole grain cracker. Triscuits, very available.
All right.
First ingredient is whole grain. Brown rice, quinoa, oatmeal. And the big thing is you want, when you're looking for it, you want to see that the first ingredient is whole grain.
Okay, so make sure you look at that ingredient list. That's really important.
These are examples of where I was actually tricked at the grocery store.
Really? Okay, so tell me why. Now, I have bought this bread because it said whole grain on it, and I thought, okay, I'm going to give my son this instead of the white bread, because he likes white bread.
Yes. Well, the trick is, and I got it for the same reason, because my son prefers the whole grain white. And it says, and I just grabbed it really quick. Didn't read it. I get it home, and I was like, I did it again. It's made with whole grain.
Made with whole.
And if you turn it over, the very first ingredient, if you looked here, is just enriched wheat flour. It should say enriched whole grain flour or whole wheat flour.
Okay.
The same here with the Triscuits. There is whole grain in it. It's like the third or fourth ingredient, but it's not the first ingredient. So. That's kind of a marketing ploy, because you have to look, it is usually in smaller print, made with whole grains.
Yeah, and I know some families are dealing with gluten allergies and things like that, so this is not something that they would be able to use, right?
Well, they can actually, quinoa is a whole grain that's gluten-free.
That they can use, okay.
There's certain gluten-free certified oats that they can do. The brown rice would be gluten-free.
All right.
There's a grain called farro that a lot of families use, and sorghum is a gluten-free grain.
Do you always choose brown rice over white rice when you're cooking for your family?
I do.
You do? It's better.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think it's more filling, so like a lot of times when you go to a place and you're having a rice dish, it's easy to kind of overeat, and the whole grain fills you up more quickly, so I think it actually makes you feel more satisfied.
How many whole grains should kids have in their diet?
So it depends on the age. Like younger kids, it may be anywhere from like 1.5 to 3 ounces a day for a toddler, and an ounce would be like a slice of bread.
Okay.
And for older kids, like if you're talking a teenager that may be an athlete, very active, they could have up to like 8 servings a day.
Very good. And you brought some muffins here. You're sharing the recipe.
So these are muffins, yes.
That's like getting your whole grains in dessert, right?
This is a chocolate avocado muffin that I make with entirely whole grain, the whole grain King Arthur's flour.
And avocado.
And avocado. When you bake with whole grains, you want to add a little extra moisture. So maybe increase the fat content or add some applesauce or something like that.
Very good. Amy Reed, thank you. Thank you. We'll make sure we have this recipe out there for you on local12.com. We'll be right back.